What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the second episode of Season 2 now of our Celta Vigo career mode. Of course, last episode, we sold on quite a few players and we were having a, fundraiser to get some more money into our budget, which currently sits at a hefty £52 million. But I'm going to adjust that to 85.15. So 50 million plus 200k wages per week is what we sit on at this current time. So that's enough to bring in two £25 million players. And I asked you guys at the last episode to leave me some comments on a new centre-back and then potentially a new striker. And boy, did you guys come out clutch. There was so many suggestions. Honestly, too many suggestions. So I went through and I shortlisted like the most popular ones, but also the ones I liked as well. And you'll see those in a moment. There was quite a few shouts in there for Jonathan Tah. He's also on our list, but unfortunately, he's actually just joined Atletico Madrid in the series. So without further ado, I'm not going to sit here and answer comments in today's episode because it's going to be a long one already because we've got so much to go in the transfers front of it, and we'll get into game against Atletico Madrid as well. But let me show you the players I have shortlisted for our team. Alright, so this is the shortlist of players that I've managed to get from your comments on the previous episode. Please note as well, there was a few players on this list that you guys had suggested, which I actually didn't put in here. The likes of Yerry Mina, the likes of Jonathan Tah as well. Because, unfortunately, Mina, for some reason, although he joined Barca last season, it still says in my save that he has just joined the club and doesn't want to move again. So I can't actually even offer a deal for him. Alongside that, Jonathan Tah has joined Atletico Madrid, so I can't sign him, even though he would have been an absolute beast for us. So in terms of the centre-backs that we have available to us, it's these guys. So starting off the list is Benjamin Pavard. We got Retsos, Pierre, Daniele Rugani. We got De Ligt, Ake, Kimpembe, and Matthias Ginter as well. There was also shouts in there for the likes of Christensen and Lindelof, but Christensen now is a bit too much. He's around a similar rating to Rugani, but I think he's a bit younger. And Lindelof, I've got to say, I'm not a huge fan of Lindelof, especially in the game. So I shortlisted these guys. These are the ones that I'm most intrigued to see. I'm going to wait on a few scout reports coming back before we make any rash judgments about any players. I have noticed as well that Ake has a release clause, so it could be a good thing to activate that in his contract. Alongside that, we've got a lot of strikers as well, but I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go ahead and wait for the scout reports back. In terms of this list, there was Ciro Immobile in there, but again, he's 86 rated. He would cost us basically all of our transfer funds just to get that one player. So I don't think that's going to be a possibility. Alongside that, there was also Belotti, but again, he's about 84 rated at this stage, 85 rated, and again, he's going to cost way too much. So that's the strikers we've got listed, and that's the centre-backs we've got listed. And we're just waiting on getting a few scout reports back before we make any judgments. The other side of that is as well, I've just noticed that Oscar is still a free agent in this series. How on earth has he not been picked up by any teams yet? So in this episode, we're looking to add two more signings to the mix to add to Mbaye and, of course, Regis Crespi that we picked up last episode. Alongside that, I've just noticed that a release clause has been paid for Lobotka. Now, if you remember why I let one of these two guys go, of course, it was between Lobotka and Raj. We accepted a deal for Raj, which we got the money in for him. The problem now is that I did that on the basis that Lobotka was a rotation player. So if I negotiate a contract with him and he wants more than that, I don't know if I can give him it. The release clause is set at 19.5, so we'll still get a nice amount in for him. But I'm going to try and negotiate a contract just so we keep hold of him as a squad rotation player. Okay, so I tried to offer him rotation. He wants important. So we'll go ahead with that for now. But if he asks for a crazy wage, I'm honestly just going to let him go over to Dortmund. So he's not wanting to put a release clause in. What about the salary? So I have to do it myself. Will he take 22k a week? 23k. Let's offer 23. So he wants 21 plus a signing bonus and goals. I'm quite happy to have him have that. And on the other side of that as well, it's a 5-year contract, so it's going to up his value even further. And I'll keep him at the club. I'm not sure if that important that I've put there, he's really going to play that many games, but we'll see. So, for the first time in the series, it has happened. We're going to accept this offer here for Eckert. He wasn't a part of my plans, but Chelsea want Iago Aspas. £28 million is their offer on the table. I've been told that he's worth in the region of about 56. So I'm going to counter this because I said to you guys as well, considering the fact that Aspas is 31 now, that if the right offer came in for Iago Aspas, I would happily let him go. And in my eyes, that right offer would be £46 million. Can Chelsea match it? No. They want 32. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to ask for 40 and see what they say to that. Because I think Aspas for 40 million, yes, he's our player that's on the... There you go. £40 million. I know he's the player that's on the thumbnail, but hey, listen, if he goes for 40 million, we can make a massive signing happen in the way of a forward. And also, we will change the thumbnail player, I guess. That's what I'm going to have to do. Loan offer for Alberto Ruiz to Valencia. I'm not going to let that one happen because I want to keep him now that we could be losing Aspas. Aspas to Chelsea for 40 million. He's worth 22 and he's 31 already. That was why I'm kind of looking at this thinking, although he's our best player and our star man, he's 31 now, and £40 million for a 31-year-old player, I think that's a good deal. But at the same time, am I making a massive mistake in letting our star man go? Having said that, if we get that funding in, we could make so much happen with that, which could be good for us. A possibility to bring in a huge big-name striker and then play with a new centre-back as well. I definitely need a new centre-back, so we'll focus on that. But we are going to go into game here against Atletico. I'll change the side around slightly in what could be Aspas' final game as a Celta Vigo player. We'll see if he can get us a victory in this one here. So then, here we go. The new La Liga season is about to get underway. As you can see, the sliders will play as that for this season. I'm going to be probably swapping and rotating my two goalkeepers. So right now for this one, I've gone with Blanco, but Lopez is on the bench. And the reason I'm going to do that is to decide who I think is going to be our best, goalkeeper moving forward. But that team that we've got now, if you take out Aspas of it, of course, because he might be leaving to Chelsea, I think that's very, very strong. So it's a back four of Johnny, Fontas, Gomez, Mayo, Garcia and Vas holding, Sisto, Mina, Moore, and then Aspas up front on his own. Of course, once we sign a new centre-back, that will then replace one of the two in the position currently, and we'll probably have Ruben Dias alongside them. But he has picked up a slight knock, so he can't play in this one. But again, that team, I think, is very, very strong. And combining that with the Champions League and everything else we're going to be playing in, for squad depth, I'm feeling pretty confident. I don't think we'll win a league title this season, but I think we'll be competitive in the league and hopefully be competitive within the Champions League. I think the aim, again, is probably going to be top 4 and then trying to get ourselves out of our Champions League group and go as far as we possibly can. That'll be what we try to do. Whether or not we succeed, we'll be waiting to see. But without further ado, we have Atletico Madrid against Celta Vigo. Great win back by Aspas, and Santi Mina will feed Aspas again. Aspas has got Emre Moore on the right. This is Emre Moore. Moore looking towards the middle. Santi Mina! We take the lead in this game. 20 minutes in, and we have it, and it is Santi Mina with the finish. He, of course, signed for us in January last season from Valencia, and he had a great 6 months. This is his first full campaign with us here at Celta Vigo, and what a season it could be for the young man. So anyways, lovely finish, but again, it was pretty simple to create that. Aspas finding more across. Mina was unmarked and just slide home to make it 1-0. Having said that, we haven't done a lot other than that goal right there. So, there hasn't been a lot to shout about in the first 20 minutes. Mina finds Garcia, who lays it out to Johnny. Back in towards Garcia. He will find it towards Vas. Vas up to Emre Moore. Moore to Aspas. Aspas back to Moore. That's lovely. 1-2. Emre Moore's in. Looking for the strike. It's going to go all the way across. And that was actually a shot, by the way, guys. That was not a cross, as it actually ended up being. Johnny's delivery back in. Aspas is up. He's offside, and that won't count. That was supposed to be a shot by Emre Moore, not a cross. But it looked like more of a cross in the end. Vieto completely through, and he hits the woodwork. Nobody is picking up Vieto from these long balls, and it's really beginning to frustrate me. He keeps getting in this pocket of space. I understand we have to tightly mark Griezmann, because of course he is the danger man. But then Vieto is just getting to run alongside him all the time, completely free, as Santi Mina up the other end, looking to make it 2. His delivery towards the box was well saved. It wasn't what I was actually intending to do there. I was supposed to get that ball across to one of our teammates, but it didn't work out in that way. Sisto. Aspas turning, gets the pocket of space, and Aspas, oh, it's inches wide. Inches. It was great turn from Aspas, to be fair. Jonathan Tah doesn't get close to him, and he couldn't find that bottom corner. Unfortunate. Mina out towards Hugo Mayo, in towards Emery Moore. Moore to Aspas, that's good play. Iago Aspas back towards Emery Moore. Even better play if Moore can finish this. And he cannot. It is off the woodwork and it bounces back out into the box and nobody is on hand to tap home. How unfortunate was that? The finish was very nearly exquisite from Emery Moore as Mayo delivers forward again. Whips the cross in towards Sisto and Vasalioko, or whatever his name is, puts it out for a corner ball. Unfortunately, I thought that was 2-0, but it wasn't meant to be. Cross delivered in, Fontas free header. Jan Oblak glad to see that in his hands. Man, if we'd have found that second goal, I'd have felt confident. Here is Vas, finding Johnny, who lays it out wide to Emery Moore. Moore's delivery in towards a box. Santi Mina header, and again, straight at Oblak. We're creating chances, and that was the problem against Everton in the pre-season game where we lost it 2-1. We didn't take our chances, and we didn't give away a lot, and they scored theirs. So again, we need to... that's why we need that striker, I think, just to come in. If the sale of Aspas does come through, then I think we just have to go for a big-name player, like a big-name striker, to replace him, you know? So that's probably what we'll do. But in regards to that, for now, we need to focus for the last 20 minutes because it's not done here yet, even though we've had chances to kill the game off. We haven't been able to do so, and that's Jonathan Tah winning it back. No, 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 no. Savic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's through. Vieto. What a save, Blanco! You beast! That's why I named him as my number one for now, because that was a sensational save from Ruben Blanco. Should have been 1-1, and quite honestly, Atletico don't deserve to be 1-1, but that's the way it would have been. Had Ruben Blanco not just pulled off a quite phenomenal double save. Here goes Aspas up the other end, looking to add that second that we were talking about. Aspas sees Mina. Mina is... Why did Mina not highlight? Oh, I can't believe that. You guys saw that pass, right? And it just didn't highlight Santi Mina for some reason. It highlighted Emery Moore instead. But Mina was there, primed and ready to smash that home. They're going to equalise, I think. Here's Griezmann. Griezmann in towards the box. Still Griezmann, but Vas does very well to win it back. Here is Santi Mina again, up towards Aspas. Little bit of room for Iago Aspas. He's got Emery Moore over on the right-hand side. Uses him as well. Back towards Aspas as he drives into the penalty area. Iago Aspas. Man over on the edge. Oh, I should have shot. Why did I look for the pass? I'm not quite sure. Mina again, though. Back to Emery Moore. Moore trying to deliver it in towards the box. It's going to fall to Santi Mina yet again. He finds Vas. We have 5 minutes remaining of normal time here as Oblak comes out to push that. Emery Moore on the rebound. And it's 2-0 Celta Vigo. Game, set, and match. We've deserved this. And what a performance it's been over at Atletico. Because coming here is not easy. We know that. They don't concede a lot of goals and defensively they're very sound. But we have managed to score twice against them today. Could have been so much more in this one. But Emery Moore smashes home the second of the afternoon. It is not a goal for Aspas unless we can get one in the last few minutes. And this could be his final performance for the club. So he's been good though. He's done the job we asked him to do up front today. And that's all you can ask. And there is the full-time whistle. It is a 2-0 victory for us here. We have got the first 3 points available to us. We started this well, you know, last season. We started off the season being top of the table and smashing it. And then we ended up falling behind a little bit. So although it's a good start and a nice win to you know, start the season off with a 2-0 victory, I can't get ahead of ourselves. We've still got a long, long season ahead. Real Madrid also winning as well against Sporting. So they will also get 3 points on the board for themselves. But how are we going to sell Iago Aspas? Will he move to Chelsea in that deal? And will we have an extra £40 million to spend? At the moment, there's nothing coming through. Lobotka and Basogog not happy with their roles. I knew this was going to happen. And if that deal does go through for Aspas, maybe Basogog gets a bit more game time. Going to accept that for Ivan Villar. He's not part of my plans, unfortunately, for the 69 rated goalkeeper. If that deal goes through, we have £90 million to spend. And I'm still waiting on scout reports back for a lot of players. Okay, so Dennis Eckart's transfer talks broken down. He will remain a Celta Vigo player for now. But the big one, Iago Aspas, has joined Chelsea. Our thumbnail player, our star man, has left the club. I'm slightly sad about it, but at the same time, for the future of the club, I think it's the right move. Even though he is our star man, and I said I wanted to keep him, and I would wait for the right offer, I think £40 million for a 31-year-old who is just going to decrease from this point forward is a very, very good deal. And even with him leaving, our team still looks decent. Gomez comes in right back there. So I think what we should do now is go out and buy a centre-back, a striker, and maybe then we'll look to what we need as well. I mean, look at this. We have £85 million in the budget. And again, that's not 85-15. There we go, 300k and 80 million quid. It is a sensational amount of money. But what are we going to do with it is the question now. So I've just noticed as well, we've only got 2 days until transfer deadline day. So I can't wait for the scout reports back on quite a lot of these players. But I've got a few back. So I think one of the players I want to bring in, Matthijs de Ligt, I'm going to try and make a move for him now. Still only 19 years of age, this kid. And he has such a bright future ahead of him. £20 million is what I want to offer them as a starting offer. They want 30 plus a sell-on clause. He's worth it in the long run because he turns into an absolute beast. But for now, don't want to price him out of a move, but I don't want to pay that much for him. So if I can get them to agree a deal somewhat in the region of 24, I'll quite happily take that. It's a lot of money for an 80 rated centre-back. 24.5, they're happy with that. As I said, it's a lot of money for a centre-back, but I'm also at the same time going to look at a few other additions to the side. Maybe Kimpembe would be quite good to do. 6'2". He looks decent. Ake, on the other hand, high defensive work rate. The thing that puts me off about Ake, he's only 5'11". That's what kind of puts me off Ake, to be honest. De Ligt has a really low weekly wage as well. That's the kind of reason I'm looking towards him instead. Pavard could be good as well. We could get Pavard in the club alongside De Ligt and have another player in there. The problem is, De Ligt's not the quickest, but he's got decent jumping. He's decent at the back as well. He's also 6'2". Pavard is 6'1". Kimpembe 6'2". Let's try and make a deal for Kimpembe, just to see what they say. I'm not sure how good this kid is, so I'm going to offer a cheeky offer, I think, in the region of around about £16 million. That's my first thought. Yeah, I wasn't sure, because without the scout report, I don't know how good he is. So I think we're probably just going to go ahead and try and sign De Ligt here as our first major signing of this transfer window. Negotiate a contract with him. I mean, look at that. De Ligt only wants 12k a week, 170k signing bonus, and appearance bonus. That's sensational. For an 80-rated player, £12,000 a week. De Ligt is our first major transfer of this window. He joins the club. I apologise to people, of course, who have seen Career Mode before and see people overuse De Ligt, but there is a reason for that, and that reason is that he's just sensational. So he comes in, instantly improves our backline. I'm yet to use him in this FIFA, so I'm going to try him out now. We've got, alongside that, Ruben Dias and De Ligt, two young centre-backs, but at the same time, hopefully very good for the future. 4-star weak foot as well on De Ligt. This kid is going to be big in the future. But that's only our first signing of hopefully many to come. Now we need to get a big-name striker who's going to bag the goals in for fun. Now, in terms of our big-name striker that I want to bring in, I'm stuck between Sanabria and Andrea Belotti. I think the thing that's swinging me is the 5-star weak foot of Belotti, because we know he can hit them on both feet. But then at the same time, they have the same potential, and one's cheaper than the other. We could probably get Sanabria for in the region of about 30 million, whereas Belotti's going to cost a hell of a lot more. I have 50 million to play with, so we will try and negotiate a deal for both of them, and then I'll make a decision. We'll see how much both teams are wanting. So Belotti, current value of 37. I'm going to be quite cheeky and offer 38.5. They're probably going to instantly reject that. We'll see. They want 50.9. That's a lot of money. So let's go with 41.5. Simply because I can't afford 50.9. What? They were like 38.5. Nah, we want 50. 41.5. Yeah, we'll take that. Do you know what's strange as well? I've just realised. He's younger, has a better potential than Aspas did, and yet Belotti is the same price. It literally makes no sense. Anyway, what I'll do is, for the sake of it, when are we next playing? Oh, I can't. I was going to say I'd play another game and then leave it for people to decide. But we've got transfer deadline day coming up. That's not possible. So, yeah. I'm going to have to make the decision. Now that we've got that deal done for Belotti, I'm going to try and negotiate for Sanabria. And if they turn around and want a similar fee, then I'm not so sure I'll take it. He's quite cheap, is Sanabria. So if I can get it for much cheaper than what Belotti is, then that might just swing my decision. So again, we'll be quite cheeky, offer 27.5. So £1 million more than he's currently worth. 35 is what they want. Again, though, we'll be quite cheeky. We've already got a deal negotiated for Belotti. So I have room to play with here because I don't have to match their deal. 29.5. 35 is what they want. They're sticking to it. I'm going to try one last attack at this. But honestly, for £10 million more... Yeah, so they want 35. And I've already got a deal for like £6 million more than that for Belotti, who at this current time is a better player. And I feel that he's going to be a better fit for the club. So, in which case, Andrea Belotti is going to be the man that I go for. Whether or not this is going to be the correct decision, time will tell. But as of right now, I'm fairly happy to have him join the club. Let's just make sure we can get the contract signed and done. They want a release clause of £108 million for Belotti. So I'm going to accept that release clause just so we don't have to deal with a lot in the terms of his, you know, additional fees and stuff. I'm going to counter that. I don't want to give him an appearance bonus. I'm quite happy to give him the signing bonus, just not the appearance bonus. I would much rather give him 85k a week than give him that appearance bonus. So that's the contract we've negotiated with Belotti. 5-year deal, 85k a week, release clause of £108 million. I honestly don't expect any team to come in and, you know, match that release clause. So, we signed a top player and a player that comes in now and is going to be a huge one for the future. Andrea Belotti joins the club in place of Aspas, takes over as star man. Welcome, Andrea Belotti. So with the remaining little bit of money we have left, I'm going to try and make one more deal happen between now and the end of this transfer window. So my first one is going to be Ruben Neves, and if we can't get him, it will be Nakamba as the backup who I'll look to sign. I'm going to go in with a cheeky £13 million offer, which is probably going to frustrate them. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to, but I really can't go much higher. I only have 15 million in total. Now, in terms of Nakamba, he does have a release clause. So we could just go ahead and offer that. And I don't actually know how much he's worth. It's annoying when this happens because I don't know if I should just offer the release clause straight up or not. I wonder if I begin negotiations and that negotiation falls through, can I then just pay the release clause? I don't know, so we'll find out, I guess. Let's offer a transfer fee. £8 million, which is £4 million less than his release clause. They want 11.2. So already I'm getting a better deal than the release clause is currently. Let's then offer 9 million, just to see what they say to that. The reason I'm going for this guy is... Okay, so they definitely want 11. I'm just going to do it again and go to 10.5. The reason I want this guy is just so it gets us another player in that holding midfielder role, which hopefully in the long run will be good for squad depth. So there you go. We negotiate that. Now we just need to negotiate his contract, and it should be another player joining us here. And that will make it 3 new signings. De Ligt, Nakamba, and Andrea Belotti. How cool is that going to be? Go important, because that's what he's probably going to get. 4-year contract. Quite happy to have that happen. Release clause. He wants one. I do not want to give him that release clause, though. And in terms of the salary, 35k a week. Fair enough. I'll accept that. So there we go. Belotti, I understand now he's our highest paid player at the club on a ridiculous amount of money. But hey, you got to give the big boys the big bucks if you want them to play for your club. So, new signing of a new holding midfielder, Nakamba, 77 rated. Considering the fact we could have had a deal for Lobotka go through for 19 million, I think that's a good deal in the long run. So we'll put Nakamba back onto the bench. We'll leave Busquets on the reserves for now. Got Abolobi's on there, Gomez on there as well. I don't think Basogog's going to play that much for us. But in terms of the team, guys, I am very, very happy with how we strengthened there. Hopefully you guys are happy with it as well. And hopefully you guys aren't, you know, fussed with the signings we've made. Because I know some people get really annoyed when you sign players if it's not realistic or whatever. But I wasn't really going for realism in the signings today. We lost our star man Aspas, so from next episode, the thumbnail man will have to be changed. But we have got a brilliant finisher in Andrea Belotti up front. Very excited to see how he will perform in his first game for us. So, somebody who I don't think is going to get much game time this season, Basogog, I'm going to let him leave. It's a very fair offer from Malaga there for 12.5 million. There's no saying that that's actually going to go through. We also just rejected offers for Hugo Mayo and Johnny. There's no saying that's going to go through. We have 8 hours left in the window, and Basogog only had a year left on his deal anyway, so I'm very, very happy to get that one done and out of the club. And I think in general, as I said, he's probably not going to play for us all that much. I prefer Ruiz, Alba Ruiz that is, Gomez over him, of course. And now we have Belotti. That's 3 strikers in a 1-striker formation that we play. I honestly don't think we're going to be playing him that much. Now, my only worry is that maybe I'm screwing myself here by not having enough squad depth. But we'll find out if that's going to be a problem between now and when we get into those games later on in the season. Of course, we have let quite a lot of players go. We'll check out the full list in a moment. There is confirmation. Basogog has left the club. He will join Malaga, and that is that deal done. We keep getting offers for Mayo and Johnny from big clubs around the world. And again, I'm not going to accept these deals. So I don't know why they keep coming in for these players. They are my players. They're staying that way. With an hour left in the window, we have had a massively busy window. Barca, they've sold 2 but signed 2. And it's basically 2, backups, I guess, to get rid of the ones they sold. They then signed positions that they needed. Alongside that, there is confirmation. We had such a busy window. £92.5 million of sales, but 84 of, talent brought back in. For the other teams, though, Betis, they've had a semi-busy window. Real Madrid have signed Werner and Burner. Do you know what's funny about that is Werner's nickname is Werner the Burner, and they've got 2 of them. Odegaard, Coentrao, and Hernandez leaving the club on their aspect. Sociedad, they've had a busy window. So have Ibar. Zivkovic has joined Sevilla, who I want to get the revenge on this season because of what they did last season. Valencia selling £70 million, but only spending 24. That's a little bit of a worry for those guys. Villarreal, the same situation. I don't understand why teams sell and then don't reinvest. Atletico with a lot of money spent as well. But that sums up deadline day. We'll check out the biggest deals in just a moment. So, the biggest deals of the window then. Martins joined Bayern for 64 million. Leipzig sold Werner to Real Madrid 53. Pjanic joined Man City. Koke of Costa Milan. Xhaka for 50 million to Roma. Hamsik joins Arsenal. Umtiti goes to City from Barca. A great rhyme there. They've signed Pjanic and Umtiti. Of course, we actually had a big name transfer as well. Belotti, 41 million. Aspas joining Chelsea for 40, sorry. Don't know what happened to my words there. Then we've got some other deals going through. But again, we're getting closer to the end now. So that is pretty much this window summed up. Very happy with the way it went for us. We got a lot of new additions and a lot of new players as well. And we spent a fair bit of money. In terms of our club, that is the deals that we have had happen. 2 big incomings, De Ligt and Belotti. Alongside that was Nakamba joining the club. But we let go of a lot of players as well. So we'll see how that's going to fare for us in terms of our squad depth later on. But for now, Malaga is the next opponents. And we'll see if we are going to be facing Basogog, because he just recently joined Malaga, I think it was. So in which case, he may play against us today as well. Belotti has just gone up to an 85 rated player. So he starts, he makes his debut alongside De Ligt, also making his debut for this one against Malaga. We do also have Nakamba on the bench, so he may come on for his debut at some point during this. But as we go into game, I'm feeling confident. We've got a good team now, and we just need to push on this season and try and get another top 4 finish. Great win back by Vas. He's got Belotti in front of him. Belotti holds up the play well and uses Santi Mina. And this could be goal number 1 if Santi Mina can finish, and he cannot. The keeper does ever so well there to stop that one from going in. It would have been an assist for Andrea Belotti as well had it have gone in, but unfortunately the keeper did very, very well. The finish from Santi Mina, maybe not the greatest. We've seen him do a lot better than that. We know he's capable of much, much more in front of goal. That's not a free kick, ref, but he's given it regardless. Mayo up to Belotti, gets the space to shoot, and Luis Hernandez makes an important interception there of that shot. Wasn't the most conviction shot that I've ever seen from Belotti, but Emre Mor's delivery back in. And there's Gomez. Ramirez, he was straight at him. Belotti on the header. We take the lead. And it is Andrea Belotti with the finish. I am not having a very good episode today in terms of me speaking, because my English is not there. I said it wasn't the most convicting shot I've ever seen. And what I meant to say was it wasn't the most... Wait, what am I even trying to... I have no idea. Anyways, Belotti has just given us the lead. Whew, this episode has been unreal in many aspects of it, but this game has been very boring up until that point. And what I meant to say when Belotti's shot earlier was, it lacked any conviction. That's what I meant. Good to get my words out finally. Good to get the lead finally as well. As it stands, we are heading towards 3 points. Get that ball off Basagog. Not quite. He wins a flick on. Gets it back as well. Don't let him score. Get away with it. I'm sorry, but that's absolutely ridiculous. Of course it would be our former player to come back and bite us in the backside. Johnny loses the header to him. Then the rebound is there and nobody picks up the run. Why is Johnny losing the initial header and then not tracking back with him? I knew for a fact he'd score against us as well. That's actual AIDS. I'm sorry, but Johnny, if you do that again to me, you're out of the team. You can't lose the first header and then not track the runner either. You have to do both. Mina 1-2 with Belotti, whose strike is there and he hasn't even hit the target. What is going on with us in this game? We have not played well at all, but our £41 million man, our replacement for Aspas, would Aspas have hit the target there? That's the question. Belotti, on the other hand, gets through. Nice 1-2 with Mina. Can't even hit the target with his finish. Slightly worried about that. But hey, listen, there's going to be more chances in the game. That's not going to be the final one as Santi Mina comes forward again for us. Here he is, driving in towards the penalty area. Ref. Okay, he probably won the ball there. That's me just clutching on straws. But my goodness me, you've got to hit the target, Belotti. Belotti from Mina. Belotti strike. Blocked. It's going to be a corner ball. Not quite sure where Pion Sisto is and why he's not down that left-hand side when we got the ball with Santi Mina there. I was looking for an outlet. And Sisto didn't give it. Emery Moore. Great skill. Vass giving it off towards De Ligt. De Ligt, imagine him scoring on his first game and he can't. He hits the woodwork. Are you serious? What is this? Honestly, what is this? We've drawn that 1-1. And all of a sudden, since we've let Aspas go and quite a few players go, it looks like we just can't score a goal. I am so frustrated with that final game here today because that, simply put, was not good enough. Yes, Belotti scored in his debut, but he missed a chance previously where he should hit the target. We then hit the woodwork in the 90th minute with De Ligt. And worst of all, we let our former player score against us. Terrible. Terrible way to end the episode today. The only thing I can really take out of that last game there as we end today's episode off is at least it wasn't a defeat, I guess. But it leaves us in 4th place. Barca and Villarreal, the only 2 teams at the moment after the first 2 games to have won both of them. They sit at the top. Leganes, myself, or ourselves, Real Madrid, Malaga, Deportivo and Sevilla all on 4 points as well. So at least it wasn't a defeat. And it's been a decent episode, I'd say, in terms of what we managed to sign to the club. But in terms of what we actually did, I'm a little bit disappointed with that final game. I can't lie. I want us to see our Champions League group just before I end today's episode off, so you'll know it all in that aspect of it. But from next episode, we'll have a new thumbnail player, and also we will hopefully embark on our Champions League journey. So Group A is Chelsea, Paris, Schalke, Rangers. Group B is Barca, Roma, Zenit, and Marseille. Arsenal, Napoli, Mönchengladbach, and Celtic line up Group C, so Arsenal back in the Champions League. Nice to see. We have got Man United, Porto, and Fenerbahce. That's a difficult group. E is Monaco, Man City, Leverkusen, PSV. Group F being Juventus, Liverpool, Sporting, Ajax. Group G is Bayern, Atletico, Spartak, and Benfica. H is Real, Dortmund, Besiktas, and Ghent. And of course, that leads us back to Group A. To be honest, every group in there is quite tough. So I'm not going to lie, but I think we've got quite a difficult one ourselves. We will take on Manchester United, Fenerbahce. That is a difficult group. And Porto, of course. So we've got Fenerbahce first, then Porto, then Manchester United. So we'll see how those games are going to fare. But without further ado, guys, that is how I will end today's episode off. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you so much for all of your support on the channel. I really appreciate it. Of course, the salt does come out during these episodes sometimes when I get a bit frustrated. But hey, it's FIFA. At the end of the day, stuff like that does happen. We'll see if Belotti can continue to score goals for his next episode. I say that. He hit 1 in 1, so he scored in his debut. But he should have had 2, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you all for another episode of the series very, very soon. If you like what you see and you're new around here, subscribe button is down below. Alongside that is the notification bell. You can click that and never miss an upload. I'll catch you all again soon. Adios.